4 expert tips for planning a stress-free European trip in your 40s. Save money, stay comfy, and travel smart. I still remember the first time I tried to book a budget-friendly trip abroad in my 20s. I proudly snagged a $300 round-trip flight that had 2 layovers, an overnight airport stay on an airport bench, and an arrival time of 3 a.m. in a city I barely knew. Fast forward to my 40s, and let's just say my priorities and my patience have changed. I'm still a thrifty traveler, but now I consider comfort and what my body can actually tolerate when planning trips abroad, especially to Europe. Now, I want good airline deals, a hotel with a comfortable bed that doesn't double as a medieval torture device, and an itinerary that won't leave me in need of a chiropractor by day 3. If you're looking for stress-free travel tips for midlife travelers, here are 4 things to help you plan that European getaway that you deserve and is long overdue. Finding good flight deals without selling your soul. First, start early. It's like being ahead of the game. Get your tickets 3 to 6 months in advance. But that doesn't mean you have to stay up past your bedtime every night checking ticket prices. Sign up for fare alerts. To find cheap European flights in 2025, you can use sites like Google Flights, Skyscanner, Kayak, or Hopper to search for your location with flexible travel dates, and they will send you email notifications when prices drop. This means you don't have to play detective after hours and stalk airline websites to find great deals. Just be smart about it. Be flexible. If you can, be flexible with your travel dates. Sure, you might want to leave on a Friday and return on a Sunday to avoid the Monday blues, but consider traveling midweek. Flights on Tuesdays and Wednesdays are often cheaper and less crowded. You could save a chunk of change, perhaps enough for a fancy cheese platter when you arrive. Fly smart, not cheap. Sure, that budget airline ticket is tempting, but by the time you pay for all the extras like luggage, a seat assignment, and oxygen, kidding sort of, you might end up spending as much as you would with a full-service airline. Some best flight booking sites for Europe are eDreams and JustFly, especially if you're planning multi-city trips. Since they work with multiple airlines that might have varying policies on baggage allowance, etc., they often encourage you to prepay for baggage and seat assignments. I found that it's best to research directly with the airline to see if you will need to pay for those extras. You could use the extra cash to splurge on that glass of wine or perhaps purchase a leather souvenir. Booking hotels, comfort over chaos. At 40 plus, sleeping on a stranger's couch isn't the authentic travel experience it once was. It's just bad for your back. Here's how to find the right stay. Location matters. A cheap hotel an hour outside the city is not a deal if you waste your day commuting. Instead, I prefer staying in a centralized location close to all of the major attractions that you can access easily using public transportation or, my personal preference, by walking. If your boots are made for walking, plan on getting in 10K to 15K steps a day, which can be a win-win situation for us 40-something-year-olds. That way, you get in your exercise and don't feel so guilty about wolfing down that personal pizza in Italy, which is what your whole family would generally eat at home, and still leave some leftover pepperoni in the crust for your dog. Read reviews like a detective. If the hotel is dirt cheap and the listing shows resort-like pictures, it's definitely worth it to read the reviews. Yes, they might showcase 5-star photos, but they could have been taken when the hotel was first built in 1830. Or maybe they did some recent remodeling, but it's located right across the street from the city dump. If the reviews contain phrases like mysterious stains or unidentified smells, I'd keep scrolling if I were you. Consider an apartment stay or a bed and breakfast. Sites like Airbnb or VRBO offer options with kitchens, so you don't have to survive on overpriced croissants alone, unless you want to, in which case no judgment. After surviving the flight, the next obstacle is finding a place to stay that doesn't require an acrobat's flexibility to get comfortable. In your 40s, the last thing you want is to climb an 8th-floor walk-up with a suitcase full of regrets. Many hotels in Europe will include a full breakfast buffet of fresh food with all the fixings. A well-balanced breakfast can get your full day of sightseeing off to a good start without just relying on a coffee and carb high. Embracing modern technology. Look up, because your smartphone is not just a tool for scrolling through those inspiring quotes on Instagram or taking those cool pictures of holding the Tower of Pisa. With the right apps, it can enhance your travel experience. Install navigation apps like Google Maps or Citymapper to avoid playing Guess Where We Are with your travel buddy. Many cell phone plans have temporary international options that you can upgrade to for a month, which aren't that expensive. If you don't have that option, try purchasing an eSIM card if it's compatible with your device, or a physical SIM card. Companies like Vodafone offer cell phone plans that are valid in most of Europe and last for a month. I purchased the 50 gigabytes plan and was able to use Google Maps, surf the internet, and even use my phone as a hotspot, and still had gigabytes to spare. Also, many museums and monuments in Europe require you to purchase tickets online, so having internet access beyond hotel Wi-Fi is essential. Consider using translation apps. English is often spoken, but you'll also encounter situations where needing to ask for directions in broken French as you point awkwardly may lead to unforeseen comedy, like when you accidentally order a dessert that looks more like an art project than food. Planning an itinerary that won't leave you in a coma. If you haven't realized it yet, we are not as fearless in our 40s as we were in our 20s. It's key to plan your itinerary around your energy levels and avoid travel burnout in Europe. Gone are the days of cramming 6 countries into 7 days, which is a surefire recipe for burnout. A realistic itinerary means actually enjoying your trip. Prioritize quality over quantity, keep your schedule light. Aim for 2 or 3 major activities each day, which can be magnificently thrilling in their own right. Want to see that breathtaking artwork at the Louvre? Great. But don't overdo it with back-to-back galleries, or you might find yourself staring blankly at the Mona Lisa and mumbling Dorothy's famous words under your breath. There's no place like home. Schedule downtime. A day scheduled for rest and relaxation doesn't mean your vacation is a bust. Remember, you're not a contestant on a travel game show. You're there to enjoy yourself. Plus, sitting leisurely in a cafe while sipping on a cappuccino and people watching is the grown-ups version of adventure and can be quite entertaining. Planning a Europe trip for the 40-something-year-old you. So there you have it, a comprehensive guide to planning a European getaway in your fabulous 40s. Except that you're not 25 anymore, which means that you don't have to do everything, see everything, or eat everything in one trip. Remember, travel should be about making memories, not adding stressors. By finding deals on flights, securing comfortable accommodations, taking advantage of technology, and planning a balanced itinerary, you're bound to create an unforgettable trip. So book that flight and get ready for the European adventure you actually deserve. Questions from our readers. Question: what's the best time of year to visit Europe in your 40s? A. Spring, April, June, and fall, September, October offer pleasant weather, fewer crowds, and better travel deals. What about you? How do you plan for a getaway? What are your priorities? Please comment, like, and share this post.